Tomorrow, a UK-wide public inquiry will begin into what's been described as the worst treatment disaster in the history of the NHS. In the 1970s and 80s, thousands of people died after being given contaminated blood products from abroad, infected with, among other things, HIV and hepatitis C. Victims and their families hope the inquiry will finally answer their questions about what exactly went wrong. Our health editor, Hugh Pym, has been to meet some of those who were affected.
It's a scandal which has blighted the lives of couples like Steve and Sue. He's a haemophiliac. That means his blood won't clot properly if he bleeds. Like many others, the NHS gave him medication which had been infected because blood donors weren't screened.
And that is what the haemophilia community are scared of.
He developed the debilitating infection, hepatitis C.
Nearly 3,000 people, 3,000 haemophiliacs, are dead because of this.
And part of Steve's emotion is that he nearly became another one.
People are being betrayed, people are being lied to. There's a sort of an enormous attempt not to get to who is responsible, whether it be government ministers, whether it be health professionals, whether it be drug companies.
He was usually the photographer, so didn't.
Barbara's husband Ronald died 25 years ago having developed HIV after being treated with a contaminated blood product, a time when there were limited options for patients.
The treatments for HIV were just in their infancy then. AZT was a particularly horrible drug to take. It didn't make you feel great. So enduring that, I mean, he just was an incredibly brave man.
For Barbara and her children, the process of getting to the truth has taken too long.
We're just getting round to having an inquiry that can compel witnesses. So I think the governments of all stripes have kind of colluded with pushing back against an inquiry. People have been asking for it for a very long time.
For decades, campaigners have argued that information was withheld from patients and there was a high-level cover-up. There have been previous investigations, but tomorrow sees the start of the first UK-wide, judge-led public inquiry.
Is this going to be another whitewash? Will this fail to get the documents we want? Will it fail to call the right witnesses? At the minute, I really think those, it will be a successful inquiry, and I think it will make up for the deficits in other inquiries. And yeah, I have a lot of faith in this inquiry.
But that faith is not shared by Sue and Steve.
None at all.
I want to believe it, but to believe it is too big a risk of setting oneself up to be disappointed.
In their campaign for justice, they've waited a long time for the tide to turn. But if the inquiry is to come up with answers, they'll have to wait some time yet. Hugh Pym, BBC News.